What is happening, everybody? It's Troy here. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today. We are just going to be doing a very casual bud and bloom tour. I don't have too many things blooming. I have a lot of things budding. So if you guys want to do a quick casual tour around the grow space with me and just see some updates, then this video is for you guys. Before we get into the video, if I could encourage you all to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and of course, don't forget to turn on that notification bell. That'd be fantastic. And with that said, guys, let's get into this tour. All right, my friends. So we will start this tour, of course, in the warm to hot grow space. You'll have to excuse me. I have plants everywhere, so we're going to be looking all over the place. But guys, I have so many things in bud and very few things have opened. It's like they're holding on to the buds to torment me. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into this tour. We'll start right over here because I am going to have a first time bloomer. This is my Bangkok sunset that I got from Moats, and it is right on schedule. They said that it would bloom in 2025. I was thinking the spring of 2025, not the fall, but nonetheless, we will have that to look forward to. I don't have anything else over here. This is the only Vanda. My Vanda Costylis yesterday went completely out or completely over on her bloom. So it will only be a matter of time before we see her back in bloom. I would say give it about 3 weeks and she'll be back in bloom. Also, you'll notice I brought my dendrobiums back in. I kicked them outside for a nice cool down. They got about 6, maybe 7 weeks of a chill. I wanted to go longer, but this week we are going to dip down into the 30s for our nighttime temperatures. So I just went ahead and pulled them inside so in that way when I'm busier this week, I don't forget about it. With that said, we will come right over here. Up here, I put my new habenaria that I got from Rusty Exotics. And the reason why is because a lot of these Hoyas are in 2-inch pots or 3-inch pots, so they dry a little bit quicker. So it keeps my attention on this shelf. So I put the habenaria up there because this particular variety is a bog habenaria, and she does not like to dry out. That is why she sits in a cup of nutrient solution. So hopefully that will be enough light for her. It should be. She should do fine up there. And then down here, we are spike central on the Phalaenopsis. So we're going to have a bunch of spikes or a bunch of blooms. That one's just starting to put its spikes. So it's going to go um, up and then it'll come around. My Equestrius, the blooms are going over on that. I see so many people with this orchid, and there's just blooms and blooms and blooms and blooms, but mine only blooms for about, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks, and then she's usually over it. I have a spike initiated on Shrilliana, so that'll be nice to see. I think we are going to have another round of blooms from Red Dragonfly. This is a peloric summertime bloomer. It's very, very fragrant. And then it looks like we have some bud development here on this Samara, which is also a summertime blooming phal and fragrant. Of course, this is Fang Mei Sweet. I wonder if she has summertime blooming phal in her just because she extends this spike and gives us one bud, and as soon as that's over, she'll open another one. And she is fragrant, not highly fragrant like a lot of summertime bloomers, but she is fragrant. And it makes me wonder if one of her parents is indeed a summertime blooming species. I will have to look it up on Orchid Web. Now I'm curious to know. And then I brought my Lindley back in, and this is a Hawaiian hybrid that I have of a Nobile. So she is back inside also. And then this is Hibiki. And Hibiki is still, like you can see, a cluster of buds are there. And then back here, there was a cluster of buds that just opened this week. This orchid has just not stopped performing, which I'm not complaining about. It's been a wonderful show. I'm very, very, very happy to have Hibiki. And then we have the Anobi Purple Splash. Nicole Deanna's is also in bloom right now. She gets a nice big show. Mine will just put out one spike, bloom it out, and then put out another spike. We have two new growths coming as well. So I am going to switch her out of sphagnum moss, and she is going in lava rock. And then over here, I have a first time bloomer. This is Bangkok Fancy, putting out 3 dainty little blooms. And over here, I have Roy Tokunaga just opening. So maybe by the beginning of next week, we'll be able to see the full show and I can get you a short video made. I had a semi-alba variety of Roy Tokunaga, and unfortunately, it was a fatality from when I very first started growing orchids. I discovered that dendrobiums do not like to be over potted, over watered, or in complete full sphagnum moss in a 6-inch pot, when really it should be in a 2.5, 3-inch pot. And then maybe it would have done better in moss. Nonetheless, this is just the Tipo variety, still beautiful. And Tiny Twister is still in bloom. She is not fragrant. She is compact for an antelope type, and that was a sell point for me. But this orchid right here is fragrant. Not so compact, however. This is Dendrobium Blue Seas, who's been in bloom for a while, and she just put out 2 more spikes. So we are going to see more blooms for a while on this orchid. See, right here when we get to the top, we still have buds that aren't even open yet. Wonderful. And then Antonetum. So this spike will probably go over soon, but this just literally opened. And her perfume is so heavy. I'm standing here getting knocked right in the face with it. And then my Nobile is also back inside from her chill. And then this is the Rose Valley by Comet Valley Epidendrum that just blooms her head off. All right. And let's see if I can swivel without making you all seasick. So I have nothing happening on the bottom shelf. We are going to have the CM White. I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, this sheath is just full to the brim. It will be popping open any day now. And I have a sheath on Triani, but I don't know if she will open up or not, because I did do a divide and repot on her over the summer. So I don't know if she will have enough energy to make that happen. And then this is Jessie Lee. Look at all those beautiful buds we have coming, y'all. There are 6 in total. They're just starting to swell. Well, 3 of them are just starting to swell up to the point where they'll be cracking open soon. So that's awesome. I still have this Why Not hybrid in bloom. And I'm pretty sure when I was watering yesterday, I saw a beginning of another spike coming. So after those blooms are done, we will get more. And then this is an attempt of a spike or a sheath on Cattleya Aurora. So I don't know if this sheath will do anything. It's not developed like a regular normal sheath look. So don't know if we will get to see more blooms on Aurora. This is a great primary hybrid that I picked up from Equinera last year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the beginning of last year, and I'm so pleased with this orchid. I highly recommend it, and she is fragrant. I also have a development happening right here. This first orchid is Easter Glory that I picked up from Waldor. I actually won that in an auction, as well as this orchid right here. I won in an auction. She's not doing anything, she's just resting. And then this is the orchid that Gia sent me. Here, let's pull it down. Look at that, Gia. We have root growth. So hopefully we can start turning that orchid back around. But yeah, other than that sheath up there, there's nothing happening. Rio Clarence. She is just sitting there for a minute until I can get the Cattleyas out of the windowsill. I think she's going to go into the windowsill because it will be enough light for her to perform still well. And my Habenaria is opening. Ooh, I am so excited. This is a primary hybrid that I got from Rusty Exotics. All of my Habanarias come from Nick Rust at Rusty Exotics. He made this. Now, I don't know if he made the original cross and registered it, but I do know that he made this particular plant in my collection. I got my first Habenaria a couple years back from him, and for whatever reason would not come back out of dormancy for me this year. So I ended up losing that orchid. So this was my replacement. Even though that this is a different plant, the bloom looks similar to how the last one should have looked. And then right next door is Sweet Orange, and she is starting to go over. She still has a little fragrance left, so that's nice. Nobody else is blooming up there. Let's swivel back over here. So this right here is the beginning of LC Purple Cascade. And she does have one bloom already open. This is a fragrant orchid too. Turned her around the best I could. Get in there and see that bloom. Now, I did not initially like this orchid. I received her in a volume sale. Actually, she came in the same box that my Oncidium Lemon Heart that's blooming in the bedroom came in. But this orchid, I didn't like her bloom initially. And then it was the second or third blooming when her bloom actually developed and expanded and got larger and kind of floofy that I started liking this orchid. And she smells fantastic. So that's another sale point to this orchid. Now she's not going anywhere. I absolutely love this orchid. But in the beginning, I was not impressed with her bloom. Usually you'll find that, guys. The third or fourth blooming will be very, very different than your first or second blooming. And this right here is my lowland variety of Maxima. And this is from Waldor. Right on schedule. They when they sold it to me, they said it would take about 2 years to bloom, and right on the money. I got her 2 falls ago. So I'm very, very pleased. It looked like this older lead was going to bloom, and then she didn't. She just remained in sheath, and she actually waited for her newest growth to open up together, which I'm grateful for. I got that nice big show out of her, so I'm very, very happy with this orchid, and she is very, very fragrant. It smells absolutely delicious. So I highly recommend this, and I think Waldorf still has this variety in stock. I think. Don't hold me to that. Down here, I repotted Delosa, so she actually got divided and repotted, and she has a nice new growth coming. So hopefully in the near future, we will see her bloom. Nothing else happening up there. If we look here, look at all of these buds. This is Bubophyllum medusae. So, I mean, just buds, 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 buds everywhere on this orchid. And then I think, guys, I'm going to do a repot on this Bubophyllum. I normally don't repot without roots, but she looks like a sad sight for sore eyes. So I think I am going to just go ahead and repot her out of self-watering. All of my other Bubophyllums are in self-watering. They do fantastic. For whatever reason, Nelson Vieira does not want to be in self-watering. So I'm going to take her out and keep her pot on the drier side and see if she prefers that more. And then over here, I still have new Verona just blooming her head off. Look at these blooms. This is a great compact. I would say this is a medium-sized Denfal. So it is on the more compact side. But she performs so well, guys. I let her have the space. And if you see, I have this spike right here is just starting to open. And this one's not even open yet. And I think it was this spike that just opened. So I'm still going to have her in bloom for a while more. She's been blooming pretty solid since the spring. And then up here, this is a wonderful, wonderful orchid to have. This is a Brassivola hybrid, primary hybrid, and it is Little Stars, who also has two more spikes coming. But extremely fragrant, nighttime fragrant. So after after my grow lights go off at the end of the night, she perfumes heavy. You can smell her in the bedroom with ease. So I will be very, very happy when the other two spikes open, because with one big show, that's all you will be able to smell up here. She will perfume extremely heavy with that many blooms open. Then I still have Don Herman blooming. This is an Cattleya, and also comes from Carmelas. Actually, I believe that's the cultivar, Carmela's spot. And she is fragrant, but her fragrance is starting to die off, which leads me to believe that her blooms will be ending soon, which I'm actually okay with, because then she'll start putting roots out and I can get her out of this moss setup. And then up here, it looks like Fairyland is back in sheath and working on some buds. And then this is a new bloom on my key lime stars. So the old bloom that you guys saw last month died off. And then this month, this came right up in its place. Chantilly Lace Twinkle is working on her buds. And I think that's all I have for you guys on that shelf. Up here, I have sheaths right here on this Cattleya, this Cattleya. This Cattleya back there, I don't know if you look right there, guys, you can see bud development. That's a really cool hybrid that I got from Akasuka. And it was the last one, and you cannot find it anywhere. So I will be so tickled when that Cattleya blooms. And then I also have in sheath is this mini Cattleya. Down here, we have a spike right here on my Tolumnia. This is a first time blooming Denfal. This is called Super Waxy Red. And I have had this orchid since the week it was deflowered. How cool is that? A couple of these orchids came to me right after they were deflowered. And The only reason why I know that is I was so new to orchids, I had no idea what I was doing. I messaged the seller and I was like, "Are orchids supposed to be this small?" And she said, "Well, they just got deflowered last week, so that's why they're so small, but they will adapt to your environment and perform well for you." And here we are, almost 3 years later. It was worth the wait. And then I also have buds coming on this mini cat that I got from Nats this year at the Kentucky Orchid Show. So maybe 8 weeks ago now. It has not been in my collection very long. And down here I have a spike developing. Let's see if I can put my hand behind it. Can we see that better? No. This is loose Neary. If you do not have loose Neary, I highly recommend loose Neary. Does not get that big, very compact for a Vanda, but the fragrance on this orchid is totally worth it. It is powdery, kind of reminds me of dessert, but still like a sophisticated dessert that's powdery and airy. I don't know. It's wonderful, wonderful fragrance. And I know that a lot of people have this in their collection, and I don't think anybody is disappointed in Lucernary ever. Back here, Jamelia. Turn, 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 turn. Jamelia is just now opening a bloom, and then I have two more spikes coming behind this one. Sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera. Jamelia is nighttime fragrant. This is Comorensis. Um, so this is a dwarf or miniature variety, but she still packs a punch with the fragrance. And then I also have this cute, dainty, first time blooming. Oh, is not going to focus. This is Prostechia livida. Maybe if I put my hand behind it. Well, her blooms are very dainty. They're almost like a burgundy and tan mixed together. But let me tell you, it is definitely a Prostechia when it comes to fragrance because even though these blooms are tiny, they still are super fragrant and I can smell them just standing right here. And I'm about 18 inches from this orchid. And then down here, we have a whole bunch of buds happening. These are all my Signokis. So we'll have Wine Delight and Taiwan Gold, and then Jumbo Cooper. I also just noticed this orchid Miss Paula just sent me. This is a division of Francis Fox. The sheath is active. So we might get blooms on this orchid. I'm going to freak if I have Francis Fox blooming in my house this year. It'll be a good freak. And then I have a Morning Glory is in sheath, and there is some development happening within the sheath. So y'all hold on tight. We will go over, check out the bedroom orchids, and then we will run downstairs and see what I have happening down there. So hold on one second, guys. So before making our way down to the cooler grow space, I figured we'd stop into the bedroom orchids because I do have some things happening in here. So we'll go right over here to the Oncidium area, and this is Oncidium Lemon Heart. And this came to me from Carmela's in a big volume box sale that I'd gotten, I don't know, in 2023 maybe. So she's putting on a beautiful display, and some of her blooms are starting to go over. She has been in bloom for about 5 weeks now. But not to worry because I have a couple of more spikes coming. So this is Charles M. Finch, and you can see we have a spike there. I don't know why these other two new growths haven't put spikes out. Maybe they will later, but I was hoping for one big show. And then Gyrac Fragrance, which I got from Nat's Orchids last year at the Kentucky Orchid Show. And this is another spike that's coming. So I'll have double spikes on this Oncidium Gyrock fragrance, and that will be nice. And then down here on my Phalaenopsis shelf, this orchid is spiking, and her spike is coming out where this leaf bract meets the stem. So that's why we're losing this leaf, because there is a spike growing right through the center of it. I have double spikes coming on this No ID yellow phal. It has a beautiful pink lip, but it does not have the flaring in the petals like when I first originally bought it, which is unfortunate, but it's still a beautiful orchid. This one's not fragrant. This one is fragrant, and this one has a beautiful pattern and design. And even when she fades out after she's been in bloom for a while, still a beautiful color. I love this orchid, and I have no ID for it. And then I don't have spikes coming on Soko Yukiden. And then I just repotted her out of a plastic pot and put her into terracotta, just because terracotta does so much better in my bedroom. There's not as much airflow. I do have a fan in here now, so that's great, but there wasn't, and this setup just works the best for me. This here is beautiful Jerry and Richard, and I'm pretty sure their cultivar is called Big Lips or Hot Lips. Regardless, her lips are beautiful. She gave me 5 blooms this year. She smells delicious. She starts perfuming first thing in the morning. See, she had 2 more. They're they're on their way out. And then I have buds back here on Cattleya Old Whitey. So we will have that to look forward to, hopefully very, very soon. But yeah, the fragrance starts with this in the morning. And then by the time the afternoon sun hits this side of the room or this side of the house, she's done perfuming. So she perfumes very heavy in the morning. And then I also have, this is my this is my mascot for my company. This is Cattleya Shinafat Diamond, and she is the heading on my company. So when you look at the logo, this is the orchid that you're looking at. She is a reliable bloomer and very, very easy to bloom. She's on the back part of this shelf. She sits on this side of it, and that's plenty of light for her to bloom. So that's what I have going on this side. But hold on, we'll go to the bathroom side so you can see what I have happening over there. All right, guys, so this is the bathroom side of the bedroom orchids. Nothing's happening with this phal. She hasn't initiated a new spike. The spike that, here, let's zoom in. The spike that you're seeing, that is from earlier this spring. That was her first blooming, but she has not initiated a spike for this coming spring yet. And then I have quite a few of these Cattleyas in sheath. We're in sheath here and here, here and here. So these two are not in sheath. And then this here on the end is right here. This is Cattleya gigas, and it is a younger plant that I got from Orchids by the Lake. And I think Yoshi said it'd probably not be this growth, but the next growth that I would see it bloom. So I'm looking forward to that in the future. And then this Vanda is not doing anything. I forgot to tell you, my Vanda on the other side, my Pak Chung Smile, is in spike. It's a low spike initiated. So hopefully we will see that by Christmas, I would imagine. Somewhere between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'd imagine we'd see my Vanda blooming. And then over here, this is quite the pleasant surprise, guys. This is a summertime blooming phal, and she is super, super fragrant. In fact, yesterday, she must have started releasing her fragrance because I could smell it downstairs. And I went through all the downstairs orchids to try to find the scent, and I couldn't find it. And then I happened to come up here to start getting ready, and I smelled this orchid, and that's how I knew she was blooming. I knew that she was in bud. I did not realize that her bloom had opened. So very, very, very excited about that. And in the morning time, when you take a shower and that steam heats her up, she'll start perfuming. So very excited about that. But let's go down to the cooler grow space and see what we have happening down there. All right, my friends, we have finally made it to my last grow space for this tour. This is my cooler to intermediate grow space down here in my living room. And I do have some things happening. I still have Dormaniana that I got from Waldor. This is a first time blooming species. Normally they only bloom one or two blooms at a time, but the lip is just so divine on this orchid. I had to have it. I also have oh, this is Aloha apricot, I believe, that I picked up from Hauserman. So it is in bud, and we will get to see it bloom hopefully soon. I also, this orchid right here is in bud as well. And it has a new registered name. I'll have to put it on the screen. I think it's called Little Birds, Brasso Cattleya Little Birds, maybe. And then I also, you're not going to believe this. This is the little mini Cattleya that Gia sent me. And this was a bucket list Cattleya because of Gia's. And so I get to see it bloom. I'm so excited about this. Nothing else is really happening with these mini cats and Ripiclus Lalias. So we'll just keep on going. Oh, I have a Propetalum La Joya Delight. Very fragrant, spicy. I also still have this Norita chip blooming. And then we have a spike coming on Sogo Vivian. I have double spikes coming on this Snow Charm. We also have right here, this is a Cygnosier Bluebirds. So this is a Zygonesia. And I moved my Phragmipedium up here because her buds were touching the shelf above her. So this is Mini Grande that I picked up from Equigenera. And this will be her second bloom. Anthera Gold is still blooming. And they're starting to look like they're going to go out soon. And then this is Franz Jules. She is just opening her buds, so we'll get to see a much better image in the near future. And then Siku Marguerite already went over on this spike, but she's just now opening this spike for us. Nice honey vanilla blooms. And we still have this Separapedioides. This is a Pleurothallus. Cute, dainty little blooms. They're not fragrant. And Sorolla is still blooming. My Masdevallia gutata is going to seed. So she is done and over with. And then over here, have this beautiful Onolicious Vivid. And this is a Oncidopsis. So it's an Oncidium cross onto a Miltoniopsis. And she is fragrant. And I think that is all I have blooming over here. The blooms already went on this Raven Jet, so we didn't get to see that, unfortunately. But I do have this Gigas that's putting out a spike as we speak, and I still have another spike coming on Rio Mashingaro, which is a nice primary hybrid from Ecuanera. So I do have blooms coming. Slowly, but we're getting there. And then over here, we have Bronze Buddha is putting out a spike for us and a new leaf. And then this is Bronze Maiden right here, who decided to rebloom from the same spike. And right here, I have this wonderful Sogo Yellowtris. This is a peloric variety. And then right behind her, I have a spike coming. This is, oh, what are you? Big Brother Sweet Sugar, something like that, is putting out a new spike. So a lot of spikes happening with the phals right now. Up here, I have this Rhine Moonlight Peloric. And this is a Wiesendorf type zygopetalum. And she's got another bud coming. And then if we go lower, she has another spike developing. So it should be a wonderful show that she puts on. I apologize for the interruption, you all. At any rate, we'll keep going. We're almost finished with this tour. I have this Phalaenopsis. This is a young home Coco who is just starting to initiate a spike here and already has this spike, which she branched off of earlier this year. And then I have this mini Cattleya down here, Tangerine Fire. This is the mini sun variety, and she is putting out buds for us. And then the last thing that I have to show you all today is this beautiful Phalaenopsis surf song. And we will end the video here. I wasn't expecting it to be such a long, lengthy tour, but these things happen. So I thank you guys for hanging out with me today, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the future for all these blooms that we have coming our way. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for hanging out with me, guys. You all take care.